Welcome everyone.
Hi, everyone.
It's been a while, about 4 weeks, and today we're going to do something a little different. I have my colleague Joel here, who is going to ask me questions. Joel, would you like to introduce yourself for a sec?
Hi, my name is Joel. I'm from Portugal, and I'm in charge of marketing at Rome Blockchain, and in turn in charge of marketing at Sceptre.
All right. Well, welcome to the show, and I guess we should get started. So today we have quite a full program.
Yeah.
We'll start by just going over all the things that have happened since we launched Sceptre in June last year.
Yeah.
Yes, it feels like a lifetime, but it's actually only like 6 months.
Yeah.
And after that, we'll head over to the application, and I'll basically just do everything you can do in the application and talk you through it, let you know like how to use certain or how you can use certain functionality, and what kind of information can be found.
Always useful
in the UI. Yeah. So looking back, the 5th of June, I think we had the early birds who were the first stakers, the first people to jump into the deep with us, and then we launched. Everything I think went quite well. Of course, we had some hiccups here and there, but who doesn't have those? But then we noticed that we needed a period when people couldn't stake, or at least we noticed that if people staked during a certain period, that could negatively affect the APR or APY.
We had our reasons to stop staking during that period because it wasn't really an even playing field for everyone. But we came to a compromise. It was really one of the biggest changes to Sceptre when we introduced the staking and non-staking periods to allow everyone to stake, right?
Yeah, so I think we had non-staking for 1 or 2 months.
Yeah,
and then we realized that this is kind of like a dead period, and sometimes people just need sFLR. They need it now, and if they can't get it from the DEX, where are they going to get it? So we introduced something called buy-in staking, which allows people to stake even during that period that we would normally be closed, but they buy in to the rewards of the people who are already staked before that period starts.
Yeah.
So the APR of the people who are already staked for a long time doesn't get affected in a negative way.
Yeah.
By people joining the period.
That's why we are charging a 4.4% fee during that buying period.
Yeah.
But the entirety of the fee goes directly into the pool. Nothing goes to us, so it's directly into the pool. So it's community. It's community tokens.
Yeah, so we don't take the usual 10% because this is not a reward, right? It's a fee, and it's not a fee that you pay literally to us. It's actually a fee you pay to the existing users.
Yeah,
to ensure that their rewards don't go down during that period.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll do that on screen soon as well.
Okay.
I think that was the biggest change, as you said.
Yeah, it was. Alongside all the use cases that were getting introduced on Flare networks that accept sFLR, which is always a plus for our token, because a lot of people don't just hold the token; they want to put it to good use, earn additional yields. So with all the use cases coming in, that was also quite special throughout these 6 months.
Yeah,
and we have a few more coming that we're going to talk about at the end of the episode or after doing the demo. But yeah.
I think another thing that we can touch on shortly is that we had an audit not that long ago, for which you can find the report in our docs, which are linked from our site. So if you are interested in that,
in this space, and the flare factor. Let's not forget that the flare factor itself is quite important.
Yeah. All right. I think like the thing that most people are really interested in is the app, how it works, why it works that way. So I will just start doing that. So for that, I need to share my screen. There we are. Amazing. And I will really start at the beginning. So I'm going to connect my wallet. For this, I'll be using a Bifrost wallet, since that's like the most used wallet here. But as you can see, we support a bunch of browser wallets, basically every browser wallet, because they all connect the same way. And Wallet Connect has the Bifrost wallet, but also a ton of other wallets. So let me just connect. If you connect via the phone, but I'm using the desktop, as that gives me the most freedom. Now I just logged in and I connected using this button here, and this actually hides some functionality that might be useful to people who keep their sFLR in their wallet, especially because it shows how much sFLR is in your wallet.
Yeah.
And it shows what that sFLR would be worth in RepFLR, regular FLR, if you would exchange it right now. Of course, there's always the 14.5 day cooldown period. And during that period, there will be some additional rewards coming in, so you'll get a little bit more at least. Maybe a flare drop, maybe just staking rewards, depends on when you hit the unstake button.
Yeah.
All right, so here's where you can find this quick overview of what you have and how much RepFLR that's worth. And of course, if you remember how much RepFLR you staked, then this should be an easy sum for you to say, okay, I staked, for instance, 10 RepFLR, not really possible, but okay, 11 RepFLR, and now it's worth this much in RepFLR. So I gained this in rewards. All right, let's look at the staking page. So currently the buy-in staking period is going on. Mm-hmm. So the first thing you'll see is a screen telling you about the buy-in staking period, from when to when it lasts and when the next free staking period will be. So, and it allows you to add something to your calendar. So you can click here and it will allow you to add something to your calendar. So you can be alerted to when the new free staking period.
Otherwise, you have to follow us on social media to stay on top of that.
Yeah, who wants to do that? All right. So then we move down. What you see here is we have APR and APY. So if you're familiar with those terms, great. If you are not familiar with it, so APR is the expected return in a year, but without any form of compounding. So if you would just sort of like get it and not restake or redo anything with the rewards you get in the meantime. So if you're thinking about a bank account, it's like getting your interest at the end of the year, but not in between added to your bank account. So there's no compounding. APY is the same thing. It's also for a year, but with compounding. So what that means is this is the percentage you can expect at the moment based on your stake, and then us collecting the rewards and staking them on your behalf and keep on doing that the whole year. So of course you'll get rewards over those rewards, and that's what compounding really is.
And Sceptre does that automatically for you. So when you stake with Sceptre, whenever a flare drop or rewards come in, they are automatically compounded and they are reflected on the value of sFLR, as Lex will surely explain later. Go ahead, Lex.
All right. So if you have wrapped Flare in your wallet, it will show this choice menu. Otherwise, it will actually not show the choice menu, because if you only have Flare, then that's the only thing you can stake. If you have wrapped Flare, you get this choice menu where you can choose which token you wish to stake. It doesn't matter which one you stake, the result is exactly the same.
Yep.
And then let's put something there. So if I put a number there, you can see that this is the current exchange rate. One sFLR requires 1.2483 wrapped Flare, or that's the cost. Pardon. The buy-in fee is 4.4%, which is based on sort of the maximum amount of rewards that could come in during the period that during the buy-in period. And this is the cost of that, which is deducted from the amount that you stake.
Yeah.
And then it shows you what the result will be in sFLR once you did the whole transaction. Now, it is explained here, down here again, like that there is a 23-day buy-in period and so on. And of course, we wanted to prevent people from just clicking. So we tried to do that with a checkbox that you have to click to actually stake. So let me stake something. And if you remember, I had about 10.8 sFLR in my wallet. So now that it's done, soon we should be able to see an updated balance. This is a new part of the staking successful model. So once the transaction is successful, we will show you the use cases we are familiar with, or the protocols that have use cases that we are familiar with. And you can go straight there if you want to try to get some more yield on your sFLR.
Yeah, you can find some tutorials for most of these on our blog, but also on their own websites. So feel free to explore, but always do your own work and know exactly how these protocols work before staking them.
Yeah. All right. So we just staked, and now you can see I have some additional sFLR. Oh, yeah. All right, and as you can see, of course, this also goes up, right? It's a percentage of the amount.
Like one question that comes up all the time after someone stakes: when the rewards and flare drops come in, do we charge the 10% fee now, or only when the person tries to stake them?
Yeah, so the fee that we mentioned, the 10% fee, is on the rewards, and it happens already before we add anything to the pool. So the exchange rate you see on the screen is the exchange rate you get. So the rewards you see when you hit unstake is what you get, plus anything that might still come in during that period. We are not taking anything from that amount that you see on the screen. All right, let me scroll down a little bit. Some people have asked us about, like, okay, so where do you stake, right? Because theoretically, we could just stake with our own node, which we don't have, by the way. We don't have our own node, but we don't. We actually stake across the entire ecosystem.
Yeah.
The amount currently of nodes we stake to is limited based on the amount of wallets that we use. So if necessary, we can stake to more nodes. We just have to add more wallets in the background. But as you can see here, there's like a pretty long list of nodes. This is not a set list. So, if one of the nodes starts to behave in a way that is bad for the rewards, then it will probably be kicked out of this list, and another node will be found to fill its place.
Yep. And these nodes are picked by our team according to their returns and solvency, right?
Yeah, it's not actually picked by the team. It's picked by criteria, and then that we feed to the staking bot. So we are like, there's nothing personal involved here.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So there's no personal preference here. But you can check this, of course, if you're interested. All right.
So that's staking. How does unstaking work?
Yeah, I will go there soon. I want to just make sure that I've got everything. So there's still this general stats, which is repeating some information that you've already seen, but it also has like the current sFLR price, the current regular flare price. You can see the amount of stakers, so other stakers, the amount of flare that we currently stake.
Mm-hmm.
The buy-in fee that we've collected until now, and that's only for this period. So
yeah,
this is since Sunday. If there is any cap on the amount, then it would be showing here, but currently we don't have a cap because we don't see any reason. The market cap is based on the price times the amount of tokens, and this is the amount of sFLR tokens that exist at the moment. So when you stake, we mint sFLR tokens for you based on the exchange rate. So they are added here. Here it shows the other information about like unstaking cooldown period and the redemption period. All right. I sometimes get asked about this project is in beta. This is a sentence that you will find on projects that have been around for 4 years. So yes, it's in beta. It will probably be in beta for ever.
Yeah, a long time.
That is just the way of the world at the moment. So, all right. Then quickly, just the nav bar here. This is a list of various partners. Some of them have use cases. Others are like security partners or integrations. For instance, Kinetic has a very nice integration where you basically stake while supplying, because we don't want you to need to come back to Sceptre first to stake and then supply. Of course, an FAQ, which takes you to a different site. And then we have the add to wallet, because some wallets don't know about sFLR. They don't know the token. Maybe not there either. So you can add them to a browser wallet by clicking one of these. And if you have a different wallet and it needs to be added manually, then you can click this open. You'll get the contract address, the decimals, and net. So and you can find also the in the Explorer. So all the information you need is here. Okay, unstaking, very well. I think we are there.
Very thorough.
Yeah.
Unstake.
All right, so let's go to unstaking. Unstaking doesn't have a buy-in fee, obviously. As said, there are no fees when unstaking. So we're going to unstake some sFLR. As you can see, when I type this, it immediately shows how much RepFLR about it would be at the moment. Again, in the 2 weeks that I have to wait, the 14.5 days, this amount will go up slightly because the exchange rate will go up with rewards that come in. All right, so this is something you can also just fake do. If you just want, let's say that you have your sFLR in Kinetic, so you don't have any visibility here because it's not in your wallet, right? So if you want to know what your sFLR is worth now, you just have to remember, just have to know how much you have in total. Let's say you have 10,000 sFLR. then you just type it here and it will tell you what that's worth at the moment.
Exactly. We're always telling people that this is the best way to know how much your sFLR is worth in wrapped flare when you have put it to use elsewhere.
Yeah, definitely. All right. This wallet is small, so for demo purposes, obviously. Yeah. So I'm going to unstake one sFLR. Going to the wallet. I'm getting a request here. I always have to stop myself from saying codes out loud. Unstaking successful. So the unstake transaction has happened. And of course, now there's the
14.5 day.
Week, the 14.5 day cooldown period. You can see the amount of sFLR in my wallet has already gone down. So it's cooling down somewhere, that one sFLR. It will also not have been removed here yet because it's actually like burned only at the moment when I claim.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I should?
That sFLR is removed from circulation.
Yes, it is currently basically already not in circulation, obviously. So let's see it. The request tab is where you can see your unstaking requests. So I just created one for one sFLR, as you can see here. I already had one over here. Pending just means that it's in cooldown. Mm-hmm. It's the cooldown period, and it gives you the date when you can. I think when you can claim it. And if you don't want to try to remember this at the moment, you can add something to your calendar. And if you are like me, because it's 14.5 days, so I never click unstake at a useful time. So it always suggests a calendar time in the middle of my night. I just move it to a moment when I will likely do something with it.
This is important because the claim has to be manual, right? It won't go automatically to your wallet. You have to come to the app and manually claim the wrapped flare.
Yeah, that's correct.
Like, what happens when a user forgets to claim the wrapped flare? What happens to that flare?
All right. So after the 14.5 days, there's the 2-day claim period when you can claim the wrapped flare. Now, if that period is missed for some reason, maybe on purpose, maybe by accident, the flare is restaked again, and you'll get a different notification here or a different request, which allows you to reclaim your sFLR.
Yeah.
So it will also just have a reclaim button here, and you can grab your sFLR back and do whatever you want with it. If you did this by accident, unstake, or you just think halfway through the period, no, I don't want to. Can I get my sFLR back right now? Yes, you can. You can just cancel the request, and the sFLR will be back in your wallet.
All right. So let's move to the S Rewards tab, which was recently revamped last week, actually.
All right. Let's go and take a look at that. So this is the S Reward tabs. Up top, you will see the actual rewards coming into the protocol. Yep. So this is based on everything that we've staked for everyone. These are the rewards that come in. It's showing you all the rewards right now. If I click that away and I turn on these,
to see exactly where they came from.
Yeah, different types. These unsorted ones are the ones that we got before we started tagging them. We only started tagging them somewhere in November. And so if I, for instance, let's say that I want to see how it was with the buy-in fees, like, how much we got per month in buy-in fees. Then you can see that here. You can now just check the amount in buy-in fee. Or I only want to see the staking rewards.
Yeah.
Then you can see just the staking rewards. If you are wondering, the small bumps here, basically, I guess starting about here is when we started to add them in one go.
Rewards.
Yeah, they are all the staking rewards, and the big ones
are going to be the flare drops.
They're going to be the flare drops, so that you can see them here. But it's nice to have this differentiated because sometimes they're almost at the same moment, and it would look in the graph like it was one, but it's not. It's 2 moments of rewards coming in. All right, so that's those are the rewards. You can also check them over a shorter period, of course. Get some idea there. A bit closer up. Then we have a lot of numbers here. So the total rewards over the last 30 days since launch. And then the buy-in fees here as well, the flare drops, same thing, and the staking rewards.
And these rewards are for the whole pool, for the whole community. We know we receive a lot of requests of people asking us to see their personal rewards.
But, okay. So let me. It is something we would like to show, but it is actually fairly complicated because for those people who just stake once and just sit there with their sFLR in their wallet, it's not so difficult, right? I mean, that's basically just keeping an eye on this, and maybe then we would just add like, okay, how much have you paid when you staked or something, and that would be done. But for those people who stake a lot, unstake a lot, and also use their sFLR in other protocols, it's very difficult for us to see how much you have in another protocol. We would need other protocols likely to add some piece of code that we could read out, which means we need to create that code. We need to get other protocols to actually add that code.
Or if you split it between different wallets, we would have to see.
We wouldn't be able to see that at all. Then we would need to allow you to connect to several wallets, theoretically possible. I think
it's not easy.
It's not as easy as it seems, and also these reward changes, they come in like every 14 days we have the staking rewards, and every 30 days we have the flare drop. So it's not a continuous kind of thing. Like if you look at a lending market like Kinetic, you could basically sit there and press refresh to see the little number at the end, like 8 numbers after the decimal or something. You can basically see it change. That is not how this works, because that is because they set a reward speed. They add the rewards already to a contract, and it's basically just second by second putting a little bit or like setting a little bit for this wallet and a little bit for that and a little bit for that and a lot for that one and so on. That is not how this works. It's only like 3 times give or take a month that anything changes.
Yeah, that's why we recommend using the Unstake tab. Just enter the amount of sFLR you own, if you know that, if you have that written down, and you'll know how much that is worth with all the rewards that you've received so far.
Yeah, that's the simplest way at the moment. We are looking into sort of like analyzing all your sFLR transactions. It might not give the total overview that we might be hoping for, but it would give some more information. Though an easier way might actually be to keep an eye on this sFLR exchange rate graph. You can see when it jumps, that's when something should have changed for your rewards. Every time something it goes up, that's when you have more rewards. And I mean, they are automatically in your sFLR. You don't have to do anything because they're just added to the exchange rate, right? So if you at some point decide to unstake, you get all your accumulated compounded rewards in one go.
It's an unconventional way to receive rewards for many people not used to DeFi, but it works well. And
yeah, it's not the only protocol that does it. We are not the only protocol that does it this way for liquid staking. And it's actually, I've been told that liquid staking protocols that have worked in a different way are now also looking at implementing this, because for people who actually use the token somewhere else, this gives them options to, for instance, let's say that you have it in Kinetic and you are borrowing based on your sFLR. And then when the flare drop comes in, your sFLR becomes worth more. So you can just have a strategy where you then also borrow more. You don't have to go and collect your tokens, deposit them, and so on and so on. So
and pay transaction fees in the process, because if the tokens are moved around, you'll have to pay for it.
Yeah, and there's another advantage in many countries. Claiming rewards is a taxable event.
Yeah.
If you just stay staked, you don't do any transactions, nothing basically happens. So it's like a token accumulating value, I guess, in a lot of cases. I'm not going to say that that's the case for every country and that that's an acceptable rule, but it might be in your country. So definitely something to also keep in mind, that this might make your administration a lot simpler.
Yeah.
So, all right.
We've covered the app, right? We can.
I think we have. I'm gonna quickly.
Can we talk about the future now?
About the future? You really want to talk about the future?
2020 predictions.
All right. Okay. Let's talk about what we know.
Okay.
So near future developments. I've said this a couple of times already, and we now have it confirmed that work is being done on getting an FTSO version 2 feed for sFLR.
Yep.
That might not sound initially super exciting, but it's actually quite useful. It's very useful for other protocols who want to use sFLR, because it makes it simpler. They don't have to multiply the flare price with the exchange rate from our contract, but they can get the price straight from FTSO. But it also opens up the road to making sFLR a possible collateral for F assets, where it is a requirement. So you can't have an F asset based on collateral that doesn't have an FTSO feed. So that's that's really important. So that's really been our main push here at Sceptre, and it's something that I definitely looking forward to. I can't say anything about the timing, obviously, because it's not in my hands.
Yeah.
But I will definitely keep people informed. When I know a date, I will scream it from the so-called rooftops.
Yeah. It's going to be super important for us, for the protocol, and for the community at large, because it's going to signify an easier way to adopt sFLR, to incorporate sFLR into other protocols. So everyone's going to benefit from it, and we're going to make enough noise when that happens.
Yeah, definitely.
And speaking of adoption, we may have some new use cases on the horizon, right? Can we?
Yeah. I mean, they're not a secret, and they've been spoken about already here and there. XDFI is a perpetuals platform that should go live, any time now. It's of course up to them to find the perfect moment and to be sure technically that everything is running as it should be. But it will launch with sFLR as an asset. And then secondly, SparkDex has a perps part to their app as well. And as soon as the FTSO feed is available, they're also going to look into using sFLR as one of the options there. So I think that's really nice. It's sort of like broadens the options that people have, right? We have Kinetic as a lending market. We have DEXs for liquidity pools. We have Cyclo for what was it called?
Leveraging.
Leverage. There you go. Yes, and then XDFI and SparkDex will have perpetuals based on sFLR. So
contracts, yeah.
It's it's growing, more options becoming available, and then hopefully after that, F assets where you can use sFLR as a collateral. So quite a lot of stuff that is already in the works, and I'm hoping to welcome some other protocols to Flare soon. See what kind of things we can do together. So yeah, always looking for new use cases.
Yeah. Exciting. So we don't have many questions on today's episode, but we have one here.
Okay.
Will a holder of it's here on the screen. Will a holder of sFLR in the near future be able to bring its value cross-chain to other DeFi ecosystems?
Well, we are not against using sFLR in another ecosystem, but I think we would have to discuss that in detail with Flare first. Also, the effect that might have on its position as a collateral for F assets, because as you know, moving assets from one chain to another, it means a bridge. Yeah. And bridges are also a risk factor. So it's a possibility, but something to discuss with Flare for sure.
Okay. It would be another great use case for sFLR to cover the entire ecosystem.
Yeah.
So do you have anything else to add, Lex?
Not necessarily Flare specific, but we have announced it, and Partisia has announced it. So Sceptre is working on creating an instance of our liquid staking platform on the Partisia blockchain, which of course will also make use of its particular properties, just like we have
for Flare.
Yeah, just like for Flare. And we are very excited about that, because not just because it's another blockchain, but also because we get to introduce the users and validators and such of one chain to those of another, and you never know what comes out of this kind of cross-pollination. So I'm really looking forward to seeing those channels become active quite soon.
Yeah, and realizing the vision for Sceptre, which was always a multi-chain tool.
Absolutely, yeah.
So let me see, but I don't think we have any more questions.
All right.
All right. So I think that's it.
Good.
Yeah. If anyone has any more questions, just leave it on our X. Follow us on social media. Our team is always happy to help you, to help guide you through Sceptre. So let us know.
Yeah. Well, you know where to find me. It's never been an issue for people to ask me questions.
Yeah.
The easiest place to get an answer is Telegram or Discord. I have found that sometimes I just don't see something on X. Someone has asked a question and I'm unable to find that question on X. So it's a bit messy in that sense. So definitely look up our Telegram or our Discord to.
That's where our team is for sure. Our team is not on X. It's just our corporate account that interacts on that platform. So our team is on X. Don't interact with anyone claiming to be from the Sceptre team on X.
Oh please, yeah. Okay, this might be a perfect moment to say that. Look, we don't make support tickets. We don't have support email. We don't have. If you ask a question about sFLR and someone from Spark Tech support, which also doesn't exist, and says like, hey, yeah, we might be able to help you. No. Just ignore all of those. Please ignore them. Just come to our Telegram or to our Discord if something is wrong, and we will try to figure it out with you.
And come through the link tree on X, please.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't try to search for us there. Come through the link tree. Through the link tree.
You always use the link tree.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Joel, for assisting me, for being here to ask me the question and keep me on track.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks everyone for watching. I hope it was useful for you to get a walkthrough of our app. I hope I explained everything that you could ever have wanted to know. And if you didn't get the explanation for the thing you wanted to know, then you know where to find us. So
exactly.
Until next time, have a great day, have a great evening, or a great night. Cheers.